So when you were growing up, who was someone that you looked up to or you're like, that's the kind of artist I want to be?
I mean, I really looked up to Taylor Swift, but like she's straight as a line. But
Hey everyone, it's your girl, Emily Curl with iHeartRadio, and welcome back to my virtual studio. Today we have a very special guest who is rewriting the rules of stardom and taking the world by storm. She launched her career from her bedroom with her vulnerable lyrics and moody beats, and has won over the likes of Billie Eilish in the 1975, and honestly, all of us here at iHeart. So let's welcome in Girl in Red.
hey,
Hello, thank you so much for being here.
thank you so much for having me in here in the Vibey studio.
The Vibey studio, but honestly, you have a Vibey apartment, and so you're calling us from Norway, and this is your home, this is where you grew up.
Yeah, this is, well, kind of like I'm in Oslo right now, but I grew up in like a smaller town called Horten. So for me, this is the big city. This is it. It's never gonna get bigger than this.
You know, we talked about this before, but I've heard so many amazing things about Oslo. What's your favorite part about living there?
I realized like the other day, like my favorite part of Oslo is like we have this like gigantic river just like floating through the entire city that sort of like splits the city in two. And I was like, holy shit, like this is really nice. And like I feel really lucky to just like have this like beautiful river that I can just like, you know, walk next to every single day with my dog, and just like, I don't know, I vibe with like nature in city because that just feels like way more vibey than like just a bunch of like, I don't know, tall buildings, which is New York, but I love New York. So, but there's a gigantic park in New York, so. I mean,
But that's different. You know, that one's always busy. That's touristy. Well, you know, I'm originally from Georgia, and that's one thing too that I love about even Atlanta is like you can still have the, you know, like the nature part of it, but still a big city, because I think that's important too. And do you find you get a lot of like your inspiration from nature and from being outside?
I mean, like, I feel like I've always been like, I think I looked like down, like kind of like had this like weird view on like nature, and like I've been like, yeah, I just want to be like in my apartment, and I barely want to make it, you know, I just want to pay rent and just like be an artist and just like, you know, barely like almost fall apart. So I think I've like romanticized the artist life for so many years, and then sort of been like, yeah, nature, like who gives you know a rat's ass about that. But like now I'm like, I'm really embracing nature. So I'm like, I don't even know what inspires me anymore. But like, I mean, there's so much life in nature. So I mean, like life is awesome. So I'm so happy to be alive. Every single day I'm like, dang, I'm alive. Which is weird, but it's also kind of like, I don't take it for granted anymore.
That's, I mean, especially after this year we've all had, it's like, it's the little things, truly.
I know, and I'm like, it's really like have you seen Soul, the new like Pixar movie where, did you see it?
Yes, I was obsessed.
Yes. And it's all about like the little things in life. It's like eating that good piece of bread in the morning and shit, you know? It's like about, yeah, I just feel like I'm really appreciating like good bread and like good coffee and like maybe some great cheese, you know, on top of that bread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in the natural light in this apartment, those plants, the artwork, all of those things I feel like are great.
I mean, this is like, I love my apartment so much. Like, and also like I have this like little like cello area and like a guitar and like this big art piece that
I love it.
I don't know really who. Yeah, this dude called Magnus painted it, and I was like, I love it. I want it. I got it. Or
I want it.
something.
I got it. Okay, now let's transition a bit because I want to talk to you about music. We have a lot to dive in, but I want to first start with your name, Girl in Red. You've told this story before. It's a great inspiration. Tell our fans how you came up with this name.
I got this name in 2017 after a long, very, very long summer with heartbreak, and yeah, it was just really sad. I was at a festival and I was looking for my best friend who I was in love with at the time. We're not best friends anymore, but you know, that's just life. So I was looking for her in the festival crowd, and then I finally saw her, and then I texted her, Girl in Red, because she was wearing like a red sweater, and like the crowd like opened up a little bit like around her, and it kind of felt like a movie moment. And then like I didn't really think like too much of it. Like I was like, oh, Girl in Red, like whatever. But then like a few months later, I bought a red turtleneck off Etsy, and I was like, oh, I went out like to the bathroom. I was like, yo, teacher, I gotta pee. And they were like, okay, go out. And I was like, obviously I'm just gonna be on my phone and like in the bathroom. So I was just taking pictures of myself. And then I posted on Instagram and I said, Girl in Red. And I was like, oh, there's a vibe here. Like there's something cool here. And I think I still have that red turtleneck because in case there's ever going to be a museum and somebody wants my clothes,
You gotta
I'm
keep
like,
it.
here it is. Here it is.
The girl in red, the turtleneck. Okay, wow, this
is the turtleneck.
This is historic. This is great.
I mean, yeah, exactly. So I'm just going to put it carefully back in the archive where I'm just going to keep it until it goes into the museum.
It's kind of poetic too that it was like about a girl, and then now it's sort of reframed as like, now I'm the girl in red.
Yeah, I know. It's like it started out as like this beautiful, heartbreaking sort of moment, but now it's all about me. So the tables have turned.
All about you. I love it. Now let's talk about your music, because it's all self-produced, self-written, and self-released. As you continue to grow your music and it reaches a larger audience, do you think all of that is still feasible, and what does that look like for you in the future?
I mean, things are kind of changing for me right now. Like, I've definitely, like, I understand the importance of having a really good team. And me and my manager, we have built a really great team around me now. I work with someone, like a label kind of now that's called AWOL, which is like very artist friendly. Yeah, so like things are changing for me. And also like I've just like finished my debut album and it's coming out really, really soon. And I also co-produced that with this Norwegian dude called Matthias Telles. So like after doing all these things by myself and like proving to me and like kind of like people around me that like, yes, I'm a producer, I'm a songwriter, like I can do these things by myself. I kind of feel like I'm at a place where I'm like comfortable of letting more people in. I almost said 4 people in, but I meant more people in. I will let 4 people in also.
Was there anything that was like surprising to you that was like tough to give up control of, you know, like as you start working with new people? Was there something that you're like, okay, maybe I do like to do this part by myself, maybe I like someone helping me with this part?
Like letting someone else try to mix my music has been really difficult. And yeah, but just in general, I'm just like the fact that other people are like, I have a team now and it's like the people around me who are pushing my music and stuff. That to me is like, oh my God, I don't know. Like I'm not in every single email thread, so I don't know what's happening. And to me, that just feels like I'm giving up so much already, but I gotta trust. Trust is so important.
Yeah, it really is. And finding a team that you really love and respect their opinions too. Cause like, you know, how the team is like, is everything, I feel like.
Yeah, every single call I'm at right now, like I'm always like at the end of it, I'm just like, go team, go team, go team. Cause I just want to build that good spirit because you know, no one's ever gonna make it as like an island. So I don't want to be an island. I don't want to be that like diva, rude ass person who's like nobody wants to hang out with. Like I want to be like one who's like, yeah, bringing everyone together.
And I think that speaks to your fan base too. You developed such an intense fan base, and especially within the young queer community. What sort of pressure, if any, do you feel to be a queer representative or role model for your generation?
I just want to be like, I feel like my main sort of message, if I even have a message, is just like do whatever floats your boat, you know what I mean? Like be yourself. I just feel like so many people are too hung up on like who they are or like what they are when it comes to like sexuality, and I'm like take your time. I just want to create like a safe space. So like anyone who's like around me at my shows or anything, I just want everyone to just feel like, you know what, like you can say anything to me and I will be like, okay, but like even if I don't understand what they mean, I'm gonna be like, this is you, and like I accept you. I want to be like a good person that people just feel safe around and safe with. Yeah.
And you know, you kind of touched on this, but I feel like we're seeing more and more artists, especially within the past few years, really embrace who they are and their sexuality. So when you were growing up, who was someone that you looked up to, or you're like, that's the kind of artist I want to be?
I mean, I really looked up to Taylor Swift, but like she's straight as a line, but like I've looked up to, I don't really, you know, there's an artist's sexuality isn't really a criteria for me, at least, but I've really looked up to Taylor Swift because like she's such a strong woman and she is writing albums after albums, and like I just think it's so inspiring seeing someone that has like kind of made it just keep on going, because they just love the music and they just love art, and I just think that's so cool. And I just feel like someone like Taylor, like she's in it for the right reasons. Like she's an artist for the music and not for like all the shit that's around, you know what I mean? I want to meet Taylor one day and I just want to be like, yo, Tay Tay, you changed my life.
What's your favorite Taylor album?
Oh, Folklore, easy. Like Evermore, really, really good. But like Folklore, like that was the soundtrack of 2020 for me. At least like after it came out, which was like in the middle of the summer or something. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I agree. I have to
good.
agree. You know, I've had many fights with this because a lot of people say Evermore, but I'm like, I think it's Folklore.
Yeah, I think you're wrong. No, I don't think that. But I'm happy that we agree.
Now, taking back to you, you strike me as someone who's always had like a super strong sense of self. Do you think that's true? And if you can pinpoint it to something, where do you think it comes from?
This is interesting because you're like saying this at a point in my life where I'm like, who am I?
Really? Really?
Yes, I know. Like, and it feels weird because I feel like I should know now. Like, especially now that a lot of people have a perception of me, and I feel like, what if I'm like not what anyone thinks I like? You know what I mean? It's just like this confusing thing. Like, I've always just been a person who's just perceived themselves and like only just have my friends and family around me. I'm just confused. I don't know who I am. Maybe like we should just let go of like the sense of self. Like maybe we should just let go of thinking like we know who we are. And maybe because like that isn't, I know it's like, you know, the saying like it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. But like maybe that it's the same thing with like who you are. It's like you just gotta be like do whatever who feels like you, like whenever, and that's your sense of self. You know what I mean?
Yeah. On those days, like when you need that extra push, like to feel you like yourself, what do? Do you write music? Do you play instruments? Like, what do you think brings you back?
I've had like a really weird year. Like I finished my album, but at the same time, I've also like, I didn't really make a lot of music. I feel like making music is actually what grounds me again. I feel like making music is what makes me want to be alive. So I think music is what makes me feel like me again, which feels really good because I didn't make music for a while and I was like, oh, I feel really confused. Like, why don't I want to make music? And now I've been on the grind again and I'm like, I'm back.
I'm back, baby. Okay, so tell me about the new album. We don't have a release date yet, right? You said?
Yeah, well, kind of. We have one, but like it's not. You guys don't have one. Like no one else has one. But yeah, I'm so stoked. Like I feel like a lot of people have like a perception of me and towards like what kind of music I'm making and what kind of music I will be making. But I feel like this album is just like I'm like wiping everything that I've done, but in like a good way. So I'm not sure if any of that made any sense, but I feel like I'm growing.
That's what I was gonna say. It ties in what we were talking about earlier, just like the growth and the journey, you know? The journey. It keeps going back to that quote.
The journey.
But it is. So before we let you go, last thing, I feel like you love playing shows live. Think about that first show, once quarantine is out. You're going on stage for the first time. What is that feeling right before? Walk me through. You're about to walk on stage and perform for the first time.
You know, I feel like I'm about to shit myself before like every single show.
Really?
So like, yeah, like I get so nervous and I just like feel it in like my entire spine and like my body, and I just feel extremely unwell. But then like I just go on stage and it's like it disappears in like in a second. But I feel like it's gonna be way worse when it comes back. Like I'm gonna be so stoked that I'm like probably like I'm just gonna be so nervous because I'm gonna be playing new songs. I'm gonna be playing my debut album probably when I'm playing shows. So
exciting. Do you have any pre-show rituals? Anything you do before you go on stage?
I think that might be. I think I don't really have like a ritual, but I think like a classic behavior pattern is just me being very like, guys, don't talk to me right now. I can't talk. Or like right before. Like I think I might, if like a stranger came in, they would probably be like, what's wrong with that girl? Like let's stay away from her. I think that's just because I'm like so nervous and I just want to make a good, like, I don't know, play a good show because everyone in the crowd, they've probably never seen it before. So, you know, I want to do good.
Well, we're excited for that tour. So excited for that album. Girl in Red, so nice to meet you. Thank you so much for being here. And hopefully we'll see you again very soon.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks so much for watching our interview with Girl in Red. Make sure to stream all of her music on iHeartRadio, and we'll see you next time. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Did you like that video? You can check out more over here. And don't forget to subscribe to iHeart right here. And if you're already a longtime fan, make sure you ring the bell down below so you don't miss a single video. Bye guys.